I just finished rewatching the Paul Williams sit down he had with Jim Gray. And just like the first time, the second time around, I couldn't help but get choked up a little bit when it came to watching it. It's really, really comforting, but at the same time, I feel heartbroken over what happened with Paul Williams. It Looking back in retrospect, it was hard for me to be a fan of Paul Williams because I was never really a fan of the bigger guy beating up on the smaller guy. I mean, Paul Williams was like 6'2", fighting at 147, and there's really no reason for a guy to be that big fighting little guys who average like 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", fighting a guy of that size. And had a lot of negative things to say about Paul Williams. And I can't say that I regret saying them because as a avid fan of the sport of boxing, what you say about certain fighters sticks. So I'm not making this video in it to be apologetic in any way, shape, or form. It's just the fact that when I can look into Paul Williams' eyes, when he was speaking to Jim Gray, it was really, really, really heartfelt how he can overcome such a giant change in his life and he remains positive about it. Most guys would have been ready to literally roll themselves off a cliff or a couple flights of stairs or commit suicide because they know they can no longer walk, or have any type of mobility. And how he can just sit there and say, he can't be mad, he can't be depressed, he can't be sad over what happened, but yet he can still overcome not being able to walk. Meaning because he was like, he's like, if I was depressed, sad and stuff like that, that'd be two things I'd have to worry about, and I'd rather worry about not walking than be mad or depressed. And he pretty much says that he's gonna get on with his life anyway. He's already settled with it. He pretty much told himself that I can possibly never walk again, since there is a chance, according to Paul Williams, that he can walk since the spinal cord wasn't separated, it's just bruised. But other than that, I honestly think his fighting career is pretty much over, because the only other person I can think of in a fighting background that had their back broken severely and came back from it was Bruce Lee. Even how they even depicted it in the Dragon the Bruce Lee story, when he was kicked in the back, his back was broken, ultimately, but yet with the help of his wife helping him writing his book, helping him get through physical therapy, he managed to overcome his inability to walk and became just as dangerous and got his revenge. I don't think it'll be as dramatic as that, but if Paul Williams can overcome not walking, be in learning, he's pretty much learning to walk all over again, and then starting to box too, getting his coordination right, and he gets back in the ring. That is probably one of the most powerful stories anybody can tell in sports, in all of sports. Nothing can top that. What the icing on the cake would be not only him coming into the ring, but how he managed to deal with it from the moment it happened to the point where he could sit up again. That would be the most powerful stories in all of sports. I mean, if that ever happened, I would just be completely dumbfounded. I'm astounded now just listening to how Paul Williams, he's just all upbeat. It's just like another walk in the park for him. It's nothing. Now, I'm just sitting here like, wow, is this dude really, really okay with what happened to him, or is he going through denial? Because I really hate to see a man like Paul Williams, someone who I used to despise, who I now like, having to go through all these mental anguish later on in life, but he's using this persona to the fans and to the media, to how he presents himself to the fans and the media, when really deep down inside he's really, really depressed and sad now that he can't walk. But if he's feeling good, then more power to him. Right now, as I can say, sitting here talking, talking and whatnot, I can honestly say that I'm a fan of Paul Williams now. I am a fan. From here on out, any type of sport he does, whether it's wheelchair basketball, wheelchair MMA that they have now, yes, they do have wheelchair MMA. Anything like that. If he gets back in the ring and boxes, if there's a chance that he walks, I will root for him. I will be forever a Paul Williams fan. That's there's nothing can top that. Nothing can top that. It's a preservation of the human spirit that deep down inside, despite the problem he has and his inability, he still manages to walk tall. And I admire that a lot. I really do. And I thought I just, I should speak on that because I'm sure a lot of you, share the same opinion or don't. But either or, I'll end this here. I'll see what I can make up in terms of material for my next boxing video. But until then, I will catch y'all later. Peace.